and I saw the blood because it took the breath out of me, and I had tried to duck down to get in between the dash and the floorboard. And when that bullet hit me, it made me sit back up, and it took my breath away. And I told him, I said, I'm hit. And he said, what you mean? I said, I'm shot. And I showed him the blood. He kept driving, and at one point they shot the tire out, and I remember the car spinning around, and I looked up, and they had like a little blue building. I think it was like a towing company or auto body shop or something like that, and they had people standing outside, and I remember just seeing their faces, like, and in my mind I was like, this is the last thing I'm gonna see before I die. I can't explain it. It was just a scary feeling, and I was like, this is not the last thing I want to see. This is not how I want to go out. This isn't how I want my life to be. I just remember I wanted to see my mom. That was it.
What was the last thing you remembered?
Him pulling up in front of the hospital, and he jumped out of the car and said, the girl needs help. And he ran inside, and I just remember thinking they were going to pull up next to me and shoot me in the head. That was all I kept thinking was, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And they came running out to the car and was like, I need you to get out of the car, ma'am. I need you to get out of the car. And I was like, I can't move. And I couldn't really speak, so they couldn't really hear me because I barely had any breath in me. And somehow they managed to pull me out of the car and lay me on the stretcher. And the last thing I remember saying is, please don't put me on my back. And they said, we have to. And once they laid me on my back, I screamed, and that was it. It took a couple years for me to really accept the fact that I wasn't going to walk anymore. I mean, I would have dreams that I was still walking, and then I would wake up and try to stand up out of the bed, and I couldn't, and I would just get mad and cry, and I was just frustrated. I was mad at the world. Like, there was a lot of times that I wished that that bullet had went in my heart, because it's difficult, it's rough. And I know some people have it harder than me, but it's a rough life. And then especially to have your whole world change literally in a second at 16, it's hard. I actually just had a really bad breakdown last week. And I was to the point I didn't want to be here anymore. I reached out to my friend, and my exact words were, help me before it's too late. Because it's miserable. Like, I feel like I'm just here. There's nothing really going on. Like, I'm just here. And I try not to really hit anybody up or bother anybody, because I almost feel like a burden to people. Like, it's a lot to deal with. I kind of shut myself off from the world in a way. It made me bitter almost.